copious details of the Messianic age is found at the very end of the book of Ezekiel. The end of Ezekiel is all about the Messianic age, and we have the unused blueprints of the Messianic temple. All Christians know this.
We're going to be looking at a video that was created by Rabbi Singer. He also created a lot of misinterpretations about what Christians believe. If you want the truth about what Christians believe, do not listen to Rabbi Singer because his understanding is flawed. And I'm going to show you where he quotes and talks about Ezekiel and Ezekiel prophesying a new temple coming, and how Rabbi Singer says the Christians are waiting for that temple. They can't wait for the sacrifices to start. They're looking for the red heifer. All sorts of nonsense that's spewing out of his mouth. John chapter 2, verses 19 to 21. Jesus answered and said unto them, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. Then said the Jews, 46 years was this temple in building, and wilt thou rear it up in 3 days? But he spake of the temple of his body. Christians believe that Jesus is the new temple, not what Rabbi Singer says. Don't think for a minute that Rabbi Singer is explaining to you what Christians believe. You will be so lost about what we believe if you listen to him about our theology. Hebrews, the book of Hebrews, fulfills the Tanakh. It doesn't replace it. It's the fulfillment of the prophecies made in the Tanakh, also known as the Old Testament, to the Christians. To insinuate that the book of Hebrews is an anti-Semitic or anti-ethical book is to malign and slander a book that Christians believe in. The holy book that Christians believe in is in no way, shape, or form anti-Semitic. That is a charge which is completely unfounded, untrue, and appalling. Paul is not or was not against Judaism. Paul himself was a rabbi. Paul himself was a Jew. Paul himself believed in the values of the Tanakh and the Torah and the Old Testament rules and regulations. And Paul said Jesus is the fulfillment of all that was written in the Old Testament. Jesus is the Messiah prophesied in the Tanakh. It is inaccurate to say that Christians weaponize the Hebrew Bible against the Jews or Judaism. Completely unfounded. Jesus was a Jew. All the disciples, the 12 apostles, were Jewish. The first Christians were Jewish. Christianity was born out of the Jewish people. I'm a follower of the same Messiah that the disciples, who were all Jewish, preached. I have come into the land of Goshen. I have come into the promised land because I believe that Jesus Christ is the Messiah. Jesus is a descendant of David. Rabbi Singer quotes Hosea chapter 3, verses 4 and 5. And we see that in these chapters, in this verse, it says that the Messiah is going to be a descendant of David. Behold, the virgin will give birth to a son, the Bible says. And this son is Jesus Christ, the Messiah. Hosea prophesies him. Ezekiel prophesies him. Jesus is the sacrifice. Jesus is the king. Jesus is the high priest. Jesus is the prophet. All Christians know this. And all Christians know opposite to what Rabbi Singer is saying. The end of Ezekiel is not talking about a physical temple on earth. Can I prove it to you? Yes, I can. Let's go to John Gill. John Gill is one of Christianity's greatest rabbis who explained what is written in the Bible. And let me tell you what he said. He said that this temple that Ezekiel prophesies, all of Europe would not be sufficient, nor the whole world, according to the account of the dimensions which some give it. The circumference of the city is said to be about 18,000 measures, but what they are is not certain. Martin Luther makes them to be 36,000 German miles. This temple that we're talking about is not an earthly temple. It is a spiritual temple of which you can be a part. It is astounding if you believe what a man says about Christianity and you simply believe him because what he's saying, and you don't turn to the scriptures or the understanding that Christians have about the Bible, you are going to be led astray. So my point in this video is to share with you, Ezekiel was talking about another temple. The first temple was built in 900, destroyed. It was rebuilt. And then it was destroyed again in the year 70 AD, never to be rebuilt. But we do have a temple. And that temple is Jesus Christ. And if you want to be a part of his kingdom, if you want to be a part of his temple, if you want to be a living stone in the new temple, a breathing, living soul, a living, breathing stone in the new temple, then you need to put your faith in Jesus Christ. Believe in him, and you will be saved.